streak continues. At times like these, it's good to have a lot of trees around the area, huh? And what did I read today? I guess this was kind of interesting. It could be good or bad depending on how you look at it. I guess mostly good. This one here says, students in Inuvik, NWT build and fly their own drones. So a lot more schools, I guess, are embracing trying to teach students about, I guess, drone tech and all that. It says, students in Inuvik are getting a higher education this week. Drone training has been happening for grade 7 and 8 students at East 3 Secondary School. Students are being taught regulations, safety rules, and the different things drones can be used for. Once they learn the rules and what is legally allowed, they were able to fly mini drones in their school. That's the part where I thought it could be good or bad, because in one end, it's good that other people are getting to use the tech and all that, you're teaching students, but at the same time, people have made it into something crazy where in many cases with what they're using, it's literally like a toy. So it's kind of crazy to have all these restrictions and stuff. It says the groups were also able to assemble their own drones and fly them inside the classroom. Maverick Alikuk Lenny is a grade 7 student who is really interested in technology and was eager to pilot a drone on his own. And for the event itself, it says the one-day program is being hosted by Indigenous Aerospace, a group that promotes and educates drone use in remote communities across Canada. Jacob Taylor is the CEO of Indigenous Aerospace and was in Inuvik to help facilitate the event. Taylor said bringing drones into the schools and giving students first-hand knowledge is the first step in starting careers in that field. So you can even see in the picture, they're really tiny and all that, like micro drones. And for people who can't relate, I guess, I mean, in my opinion, with the way these things work and all that, a remote control, little tiny toys, I would say, in many cases, is almost like using an RC remote car. Can you imagine if you had that, like in a school saying, oh, here's all the restrictions in terms of driving a car and all that, and then you drive around, I don't know, this little mini RC car saying you have to stay indoors and all that. There's all these rules about bringing this outside. Like, that's kind of crazy, isn't it, overall? I mean, I still remember like in schools and stuff like that, we made things like, for example, like what? These electric carts and all that. You go to metalwork, woodwork shop and all that. In my opinion, those are more, quote, I guess, dangerous, but this, it just seems so over the top in my opinion, and I'd wonder if it stifles innovation and creativity overall. Because in situations like these, when people are doing nothing wrong, they're just trying to experiment and learn about something, in my opinion, they should, without all this red tape. Because it makes me think too, there are literally these Lego drones where you build them out of Lego pieces, put like a little motor of sort, and they fly. And they even say, for example, whatever, you crash it, you bring it back up. Now imagine that in this context where you have to teach like some kid, here's all the aviation rules and all that to fly and build this little thing. Again, just thinking of it for other stuff that are, for example, more like a car, they ride on the ground, it wouldn't be that crazy, correct? Or even something like what? An RC boat? Would you react in the same way? But again, overall, I guess it's good that at least they're trying to introduce it to students and stuff like that as well. And this was everywhere, as apparently there's going to be an airline strike here with the company WestJet. I would imagine it's related to things, for example, such as wages and all that, as these things usually are. This one here says the WestJet group begins flight cancellations in anticipation of WestJet and Swoop pilot strike. As the WestJet group prepares for labor action by WestJet and Swoop pilots, the airline has started taking down its network. The action ensures the airline can avoid abandoning aircraft in remote locations without support and enables the proactive communication with guests and crew to minimize the potential for being stranded. The decision to cancel flight comes as the WestJet group remains in a stalemate with the union regarding unreasonable wage expectations that, if realized, would permanently damage the financial viability of the group's future. So I believe they're supposed to have a strike actually on Friday. Although I guess that is good to kind of cancel the flights. Can you imagine that? If you use this, let's just say airline, you travel to somewhere, you want to come back, but now you can't because everyone's on strike. That would be horrible. All right, see you guys later.